You know you have to survive. You've got to keep the dream alive. Where everything is free, can't you see? Yes, this is Gotta Go Cast, a video game review show for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Each episode, we review one Sonic the Hedgehog game as nominated by you, and we rank it on a scale of chili dogs, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm your host, Kyle Von Kubik, and I'm joined along with...
Hi, I'm Negabun. Hello.
This is Peter Graphic.
Yeah, Pete and
Hey.
Nickelbun, welcome back. We're talking another fantastic Sonic game. Oh boy, it got posted on Reddit. You guys familiar with Reddit?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Our podcast, and they were not pleased with our choice of games so far, and that could not make me happier. We're talking about Sonic R, the Sonic racing game from 1997. It was released on the Sega Saturn. You know, that system no one had. It was re-released for Windows 95, the GameCube, and PlayStation 2. It was developed
in the GameCube and PlayStation 2 cases. That was on a compilation of the Sonic Gems collection. Correct. Don't look for it solo. You won't find it.
You will not find it, right? And it was originally developed by Traveler's Tales, the makers behind Sonic 3D Blast, as well as Sonic Team.
Yeah, Traveler's Tales also on the hook for pretty much all of the really good Lego games down the pipe, starting with Lego Star Wars. And I think they have a hand in there's like a TV series now too, I believe. They're actually doing a parody of the holiday special. Which is looking pretty good. But yeah, they've never gotten that much better at vehicular related movement, but
I'm a fan.
You gotta start somewhere.
And I had a Saturn, and I still have a Saturn.
Did you had it like originally back in the day, or did you get it collecting?
The Saturn I own now is still my childhood Saturn.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
now, did you pick this game up back then?
No, I didn't get. I got 3D Blast. That's the Sonic game I got back in the day.
Yes. Yeah. What'd you think of 3D Blast? I guess we should save that for when we review 3D Blast.
Somebody actually wants to hear us talk about 3D Blast.
Yeah, save it for the show. Well, Traveler's Tales was definitely chosen by Sega to develop this game. We'll get into the development. I know Chris has a lot to say about this game, as well as Pete does. But Traveler's Tales had a good relationship with Sega, and they were familiar with the hardware, for better or worse, as far as their games were concerned. They knew what they were doing on the hardware. They could at least produce something, and the Sega Saturn was a console that you really needed to know what you were doing to develop anything on. So, Chris, how did this game start? I think we should start there.
Somebody, I forget the YouTube channel that did it, but we can throw the link in the info or something. If you look up Sonic R F1 Roots on YouTube, you'll find it. But like somebody poke around in the files, there's models in there for F1 racers, like complete with textures and everything. It's got like the whole Marlboro logo and everything. Like, it took a lot of poking around to find them. And there's also like a weird hidden room or something. But it seems like they were originally instructed to make an F1 game.
Yeah, it was my understanding that Sega wanted a answer to Formula One Racing, which was a PlayStation 1 game. They were impressed by it, and they wanted something like that on their console. Makes sense because of virtual racing. But somehow along the way, it went from Formula One to let's put Sonic in it. And that's where everything kind of went off track. Literally. Everything keeps going off track in this game.
I also have virtual racing for the Saturn.
Yeah, but virtual racing, you actually stay on the track.
No, that's a good game.
You know, it's a bad sign when the MIDI map for the racetrack looks like someone dropped a bunch of ramen noodles in the corner of your screen.
Yeah, 2D mini-maps for 3D courses, yeah, it's never a good idea. It never works. I've seen them, like, there was a couple more recent games, or a handful of them, I should say, at this point, that have tried to render it in 3D and actually moves around with you, and that, when they do that, it's cool as hell. But, like, back in the day, it was always 2D maps. Like, if you're, actually, related to that, the Yoshi's Island course, in Mario Kart 64, you'll remember, if you're at least playing on the cartridge, everybody's place in the race is always listed as a question mark compared to you.
Right.
Because even with only like 3 routes, that's complex enough that the game couldn't keep track of where everybody is.
Yeah.
So it's the same beast here. Like,
sure.
You'll often see your place on the standings like whip back and forth real quick because it's having a hard time establishing the relative distance between everybody. And there is no mini map for that course, even though I think every other course in Mario Kart 64 has them, because that was too much.
This is a good parallel to Spinball because it's a genre dumped into a Sonic game, and they want to kind of still hold on to what Sonic is. So they're adding exploration into a racing game, and that is a very dumb and stupid idea. There's 4 tracks?
There's 5.
5. There's dead ends. There's paths that make absolutely no sense to go down unless you're looking for items, but you're looking for items while racing other characters who are going to go on the most optimal course. Usually, when I was playing it, I really was seeing these connections between this and Spinball. Spinball's a little more playable than this because the tracks are like they have these hairpin turns, and the characters, because of the era, move like bricks. So they're not really capable of making these set hairpin turns. In fact, I watched Nekobun on his Twitch play the game. I was very impressed with how well you were navigating these tracks. And even so, you were falling off the track, but you were still doing pretty good.
I don't know how any of this got developed, because the first time I played the game, it was years ago, and I remember, I think I streamed it, but the video's lost now, or I didn't save it. Yeah. But I remember I was able to get all the Chaos Emeralds, although I didn't know how to find Supersonic. All I have to do is hit down on the menu select on Sonic's portrait. But like, I sat down, like I unlocked all the tracks, got all the Chaos Emeralds somehow. I remember it being impossible. I guess I just entered a fugue state at some point and was imbued with some sort of ability. That, or I've just been playing enough dog shit racers I'm kind of used to having to compensate for issues.
The first time I played this game was late 90s, early 2000s. I went to Staples, that office supply chain. And I used to go to Staples and rummage through their bargain bin of CD-ROMs. It was games, it was applications, it was anything. Mavis Beacon was in there, and so was Sonic R. And I chose to go with Sonic R that day. You could pick up games for like under $10. That's how I got Age of Empires. That's how I got Sonic CD. That's how I got Sonic R. I still have the disc. And that's the version I played for the show, which was a goddamn nightmare to play because it's made for a Windows 95 computer. So I had to get a virtual box going and run it that way. But whatever, I digress. But the first time I played this, I was playing with keyboard. I wasn't even playing with a gamepad.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. I loved playing it. I really did enjoy it. This turnaround, it didn't hold up as much control-wise. And I did have a gamepad this time, which made it a little bit easier. But I remember playing this game for hours, QWERTY style, which is insane. I don't believe I unlocked. I certainly didn't, for the purposes of this show, unlock anything because I'm not that good. And I don't remember if I unlocked anything back when I played it in the late 90s, early 2000s. But I really did love it. And I think for under $10, there's enough game there. There's a lot of different modes. It's different enough from Mario Kart. It's got characters that have different attributes that's distinctive enough from being like a kart racer, because usually in a kart racer there's a fast character, an all-around, and a heavy. In this, it's wildly unbalanced, and I guess we'll dive into that a little deeper. But I really enjoyed this because I think for me, I wasn't familiar with what was going on in the Sega Saturn, and this was just after the Dreamcast came out when I got the disc. And I was impressed just to see an earlier example of Sonic running around in 3D. And the music really hit a chord with me. But before we talk too much about the music, let's talk about the plot of Sonic R.
Can you see the sun is shining on me? It makes me feel so free, so alive. It makes me want to survive. And the sky, it makes me feel so high. The bad times pass me by. 'Cause today, it's gonna be a brighter day. Can you feel the sunshine?
Sonic and Tails are here. So is Knuckles, dear. Amy Rose has a car. Robotnik says, har har har. There are courses for. Weather makes it feel like more. Emerald's there to hold. Unlock Rainbow Road. Everybody's supersonic racing. Everybody's running into walls. Everybody's supersonic racing. Robotnik's ride is slow as balls. They're just supersonic racing. And they've all got robot clones? Everybody's supersonic racing. Maybe this was better left alone.
Yes, I do agree.
Well done.
You would only yes, very well done. We got a regular Walt Whitman over here.
I didn't have enough beverages in me to actually sing it along to the theme song.
That's
I'm snapping to that.
You wouldn't know the plot if you didn't have the manual, but if you did, you'd read something about Sonic and Tails being on vacation and getting their groove back when they stumble upon a poster about a World Grand Prix. And Sonic initially isn't interested in racing, but then he learns that Dr. Robotnik is running this race for some reason. The story makes absolutely no sense because Dr. Robotnik has discovered the location of the Chaos Emeralds. Instead of just grabbing the Chaos Emeralds, he decides to put on a race for some reason to see who can get the Chaos Emeralds. It's dumb. This is a Sonic game. It doesn't really matter.
To be fair, that is generally the plot of every single Sonic racing game in the franchise.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah, that's really just inconsequential to the whole thing.
For the time, this game was praised. And it's not unlike a lot of its contemporaries at the time for 1997. So I see why, you go on archive.org and look at old video game reviews from different magazines, and you'll see that this actually is in a 7-8 range as far as ranking is concerned. And I think when you look at it through that lens, when you look at it through the lens of 1997, it's on par with everything else that it came out around that time. Tank controls were a thing. But I'm interested to hear from Pete, because you're playing it on original hardware.
Correct.
So forget about 1997. For 2020, how does Sonic R control?
Well, I tried to play it with the 3D controller on the Saturn. You guys familiar like the Knights controller? Thinking that it would make a difference. It did not. You really kind of have to hit up on that controller, and you have the X, Y, and Z can control the camera. The brake is the shoulders at once together. Right. But personally, I feel like he couldn't ever go straight. Sonic always goes, falling off the track. That 3D controller didn't do jack shit.
What's funny about Sonic is that he's not the best character to start with when you're learning the game. I find that Knuckles is actually a better character to start with because he can do that glide and he's fast. Tails is also good because he can float around, but he's a little bit slower.
Yeah, the glide helps a lot, especially in the corners.
Yeah, Knuckles was the best. That was the character I used the most.
Well, I played on, again, I mentioned the Gems collection. I played the GameCube version of that. And the L and R individually, they work kind of like the air brakes in like Wipeout that kind of shunt you sideways faster for turns.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I have a head for that because Wipeout is my jam, and that, and leading corners helps a lot. Again, that might be a spinoff of the F1 mechanics, and probably some of the physics that they built up were still rooted in that. So
yeah,
it still took a while to get used to. And again, I don't know how, but I can finish a race with Sonic podium. But again, my recommendation is, again, as everyone else has said, get Knuckles, go get the Chaos Emeralds, and I think you have to podium in each race, like get a trophy. I don't know if you have to have gold to keep it, but as long as you get all 5 Chaos Emeralds, that'll unlock Super Sonic. You press down on the character select menu at Sonic, and then you can go wherever the hell you want, because Super Sonic is so ridiculously overpowered speed-wise and acceleration-wise that he will just catch up, and that's how you unlock the other characters, is go get the tokens with him, because he can go get lost.
Yeah, the game's horribly balanced as far as the characters are concerned. Before you have Super Sonic, Metal Sonic 2 is really OP. Yeah, he's OP. It's just he's kind of hard to control because he's so fast.
Yeah, and his acceleration isn't as good as Super Sonic's either.
No.
You guys were able to unlock those characters? I was not.
It took me like an hour and change, maybe 2 hours, honestly, with the footage I wasn't able to get because Twitch was being funky. Yeah, that took a while.
Nico plays a lot of bad racers.
I give you a lot of credit.
It involves a lot of backtracking and resetting the course. Like, there are guides online. I didn't check any video ones, but they're like text guides that tell you where things are. Half the time, the mentions don't make any goddamn sense. We're talking like old school game facts, obviously.
Right.
And so they're only so helpful. Like, the turn after this turn, do this turn and jump on pad number 3. There's 7 of them. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you have a lot more patience than I do.
Once you brute force your way through and figure out where everything is, get a decent rundown where you can finish in the top 3 with all. There's like 5 tokens on each course with Sonic's head on them. And luckily, there's only 4 characters you unlock that way, because I think Robotnik you get. Eggman, whatever you want to call him.
No, we call him Robotnik on this show.
I don't mind Eggman because that's the best track off of Paul's Boutique. I would brook no debate of this unless you want to argue for Shadrach, because that one's really good too. But yeah, like you find the 5 tokens, that'll unlock the character for that course, and that's where all the robot clones are.
And you have to race them, right? You have to beat them in the race.
Yeah. There's a challenge race, but again, if you're Super Sonic, it's like, beep, I'm done.
Yeah, I couldn't beat them in the challenge race.
Yeah, that I could see that being a problem. Just because, again, the courses are nasty.
The course design is terrible. It's because of this. 1, the courses aren't designed for the characters and how they control, and 2, the courses are designed as if it's a platformer and you're exploring areas, which you don't do in a racing game. I do know that Nikobun posed the question on his Twitch stream of this game, that there's no way, right, that these tracks were designed in tandem with it being a Formula 1 game.
No.
There's no way you could see a Formula 1 car driving on any of these tracks.
Like, most of the track design team is Japanese. Yeah. Either out of Sega Europe or Sega Japan. And I feel that had to have come after they made the swap over. Like, they might have had like an oval course ready to go because it's easy to slap down, and maybe like a couple other simple ones. Like, you usually have like a delta triangle one.
I think the game would have been more enjoyable if the courses were a little simpler.
And wider. Oh my God, wider, because you're half of the problem is falling off the main tracks in the water. You can keep going, but it's very infuriating. Narrow bridges and all sorts of weird crap.
I find it hard to call it a racing game because it's more like, I feel like there's racing, but there's also adventuring around the level.
Yeah, it's literally like a foot race. It's not like a kart racer. A Mario Kart 64 came out a year earlier. It operates nothing like that game.
No.
And I think a lot of people would see this and think, oh, okay, this is... I thought a good comparison would have been the Mega Man Battle and Chase game, but even that game operates a lot better as a racer. You're literally racing, but trying to do platforming things, and it's not two great tastes that taste great together, you know?
Yeah, and like there were even foot racers starting to come out around the same time. Like Running High was an on-foot racing game that came out same year. I don't know if it was before or after the November release date of this one.
Now, yeah, describe that to me. I'm not familiar with this game.
You're basically like, I forget if it's Power Arm or Cybernetic Enhancement, but it's, with the world circuit, everybody from different countries, like the Australian guy's all big and beefy, and like hero protagonist is obviously the Japanese guy. But yeah, it was a Japanese powered up foot racing game, but the tracks are still like racing game, like kart tracks. They're a little bit 3D. You go up and down a little bit here and there. It's actually pretty fun. Yeah, and it had it was kind of like, it was a foot race, but you saw a mechanic that was kind of like Road Rash, where you could like whip out your arm at opponents as you went by them to like slow them down and stuff, which was kind of sweet. But
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. And we got something similar called Running Wild a year after in North America. I think Europe got it too. But that one. Yeah, that's like low budget, low poly furries. It's not as good, but same sort of vibe. And but again, with Running High, it had already been proven you could do this and make it work. And again, if they just stuck to wider and more focused tracks, like maybe a couple of alternate routes. I like that there were shortcuts. I didn't like that there were like 3 shortcuts a track, and each one cost 50 rings, and you're lucky to get like 20 in a lap. And sometimes the shortcuts weren't even all that short, or they would dump you somewhere where it was a super weird turn to get back on course, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, especially in that temple area, I hated the layout of that.
Oh, Relic Ruins,
yeah.
The characters, like I touched on, all have different attributes, and unlike a kart racer where you're picking up items and you're using it to grift the opponents, you don't do that in this game, and it's to its detriment. Like, I like the idea of let's do a kart racer with the Sonic characters, but they don't need to be in karts because majority of them are fast. Tails and Sonic and Knuckles, they're fast. Metal Sonic is fast. Eggman should be in a vehicle. Amy should be in a vehicle. They are in this game, but Amy is terrible. You don't want to play as Amy. She's super slow. She can float over the water, which is a cool attribute, but it
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, her lack of speed just it like you can't play as her.
Yeah. Eggman, her special's a boost instead of a jump, which kind of makes up for it. Yeah. But both her and
Eggman or Dr. Robotnik, he's slow.
He's shoot slow. He has a gun to slow other people down, but it doesn't help enough.
No, it costs you rings. I think it costs you like 10 rings to fire it off. And like when you hit an opponent, they just sort of bounce. So if they're ahead of you and you hit them with that, it's not like them hitting the banana peel or a red shell or anything like that, where they're out of commission for a little bit. They do a little bounce up and they're still running. So if they're faster than you, like if you're Dr. Robotnik and you're racing against Sonic or Knuckles, even hitting them with that projectile is not going to help you get ahead of them.
Yeah,
so it's frustrating.
Even if you like, basically you have to aim it to throw them off the track, so it only really works at the edges, and the AI isn't really that good at going for the edges of the track because it knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Even when you're getting hit by it, I never really like racing against him. I saw the target. I never really got hit by the missile.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I think Egg Robo has the same gun, but is actually of a decent speed. So I do not get that. Like the robot clones of the other characters make at least a little bit of sense. I mean, Metal Sonic was already established.
Talk to me about this creepypasta thing with Tails Doll. I was completely unfamiliar with this.
There's for some baseline stuff. Okay, if you've never heard the term creepypasta somehow, it's just shitty, scary stories that you find on like Chan boards. Well, nowadays they're everywhere. Yep. But there are some good ones. There are no good Sonic ones. There are especially no good Tails Doll ones because it's just like, guy got his kid the game, and then he made his kid go to bed, but he liked the game, so he played it. And then there was a knock at the door, and it was the Tails Doll, and he was covered in blood. That's literally like the main Tails Doll creepypasta. That's almost verbatim. It's so bad, and I'm like, it's just a goofy look. It's literally a goofy looking plush Tails with a little like Sims antenna things. But what are they called? Plumb bobs with sticking out of its head. That's literally all it is. I'm like, why is this scary? And then I love Cyber Knuckles. Cyber Knuckles rules because Cyber Knuckles, and like his middle dreadlock is like his jet engine. It's so ridiculous.
Yes.
But Egg Robo, the fourth robot character, he's basically like, it's like a precursor to the robot characters we'd see in Adventure and Sonic Heroes on the Dark Team. But he's literally just like an oval robot. He's got backpack. He got gun. He floats. That's nice.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have like the Robotnik mustache.
Hey guys, you want to know why the Sega Saturn failed? This is the only original Sonic title released for the Saturn.
And while every fighter was better on the Saturn, versus the PlayStation, I will fight with that forever. Wasn't enough.
3D Blast is on that too, or that's not.
Yeah, but 3D Blast was ported to other I
get what you're saying.
Yeah, this is the only exclusive. Traveler's Tales were actually originally working on Sonic Extreme, I think it was called. It was like a 2.5D platformer. If you can, check out some of the prototype footage of that game. That game looks awesome. It reminds me of like Klonoa, which came out on the PlayStation, and I really think it would have helped move some units. I know Sega was busy shooting themselves in the feet by the time the Sega Saturn came out, but looking at that Sonic Extreme, it looks good. It might have played terribly, but it really did look good.
Yeah, and judging by the later Lego games, like they have a head for platforming, so it was probably going to be awesome.
I think you can play that. There's like repros of that game that you could play.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there totally is, and it's not that great.
Well, part of that might also be it's probably you probably just salvaged what they could of the beta and threw it out there.
And I have a question for you guys. You might be able to answer it. Is this the first game where you can play as Robotnik?
I think Sonic Drift and Sonic Drift 2 came out before this, and he's playable in those. He's like playable in every Sonic racing game.
Well, I mean, technically, like you're playing him in Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, right?
Also, yes, but
wait, you're playing as him in that, or are you just playing?
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
I think you can. Like, I don't know what's up. I don't know shit about Mean Bean Machine.
We will soon.
Yeah. But yeah, like all the racing games, the drifts, All-Stars Racing and All-Stars Racing Transformed, Team Sonic Racing, he's got his own team, which I don't think I unlocked yet. I gotta get back on that. He's not the first Sonic Riders, which are the hoverboard ones with the bird crew.
Yes. But
in the second and third one, Zero Gravity and Free Riders, his gear has wheels, but you can still play as him. He was, when they remastered Sonic the Fighters for the 360 and PS3, which I didn't know, but it's still on sale in the Xbox Live Marketplace, at least. So $5, I'm probably going to pick that up, even though it's already on the Gems collection. I
think it's worth the $5 investment just to see the oddity of that game.
But I'll probably pick that up. They made him an unlockable character. Like, he was always the boss, but they made him an unlockable playable in that. He's in Sonic Adventure 2 eventually, instead of E102 Gamma. That's the first robot I was trying to think of. And you might be able to play Sonic Battle. That's the GBA like 2.5D fighter, which feels a little like Smash, but not really because it's kind of isometric. It's a good game, but it's weird.
I just never played Sonic Drift, so this was the first time I played as Robotnik in any. Yeah,
much better racing games. They're very. It's kind of like a little more outrunny than Mario Kart.
Don't jump ahead. You touched on a bunch of games we're going to be talking about soon. Let's talk about the art direction of Sonic R. It's obviously in 3D, which is a big thing. It was a big deal back then in 1997. You can watch as 5 polygons blast process all over your chest, neck, and face. It was really praised as like being the top tier graphics that you could get on a console at the time. And I would say that I was surprised how well they held up, and I think it's because they took the approach of the Virtua series, where instead of putting textures on the polygons, they just did flat colors, and I think it really helps the game.
Yeah, have you guys played 3D Blast on the Saturn?
I have not.
I have not played it on the Saturn.
I remember watching a demo video of it on loop, but
and I know that says a lot about this game because we talk about other Sonic games, but the special stage in that game is excellent. And it reminds me a lot of this game, like a better version of that.
So it's polygonal and it's got these flat colors.
Yeah, he almost looks identical. I mean, we'll save that for that episode. But
possibly, it's possible they use the same asset because when Sonic Team came in to help Traveler's Tales, they're the ones who gave them the models for this game. They're like, swap out the cars for these. So it might have.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
It may have been shared assets. I think for the era, it works. I think it looks good for its time period. And the other thing we didn't touch on is the weather mechanic in the game, which I appreciate with the different tracks, that there's different weather patterns.
Yeah, I love that because there's only 5 courses. So like it's random which one it'll roll to. But you've got rain, you got snow, sunset. There might be a dawn one too, and then you got like standard daytime clear weather. But it's nice. I don't even know if it affects the course grip or anything all that much, but it's just, it's a nice change of pace here and there because you're basically getting like 25 courses out of it overall. I don't think they come into play on Radiant Emerald, the fifth stage, because like you're in space on like a Emerald asteroid, the Rainbow Road one. It's 20 asterisk courses overall when you add the weather into it.
Sure. And there's the different modes. Nikobun, go over the different modes.
If you go to the time trial mode, there's a couple extra things you can do. Like for forward and reverse time trials, thankfully you don't have to do reverse courses in the GP mode because I'm not sure if they actually reverse any of the signage. But if you do the reverse time trial, there is a little like sparkle trail that you can follow, which is A, the ultimate or optimal route, and B, just makes you don't have to think about any of the signs being reversed. You just be like, okay, fine, we're good, I got this. There's also a scavenger hunt mode where you're looking for balloons, which is actually deceptive because they're not brightly colored. They're actually colored to blend in with the background in many cases, and they're hidden behind signs and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it'll time you on how long it takes to find 5 of those. And then there's the tag mode, which is a neat idea where you're up against 4 other characters, but they just kind of run to different parts of the course and it's free roam and you're just trying to find them. Basically, I don't know if it's per character or just per course and they'll stick a character to them, but each one has like a starting point they go to. And if you find them there, they start taking off and you got to follow them. I swear Supersonic was despawning and going back to a start point or something, which is bullshit. Like, if you get Supersonic in your mix, just back out and reset because you will not catch him.
Unlocking Supersonic and not playing as him means you're just going to lose because he's going to show up in your race and you're not going to be able to beat him. Let's talk about the strongest element of Sonic R, which is the soundtrack. I think we all agree that this soundtrack rocks. It was composed by Richard Jacques and sung by Teresa Jane Davis. And I know it's a bone of contention with some fans out there of the Sonic series, but it looks like all 3 of us really dug this music.
I absolutely loved it. It's that classic pop Sega tune, so theatrical and over the top.
Yeah.
You're keeping dreams alive. You're feeling the sunshine. There's diamonds in the sky. You're traveling back in time. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. That was like the saving grace of this game for me.
Yeah, these are like, some of these are practically ballads. Like, these songs could probably get you laid if somebody didn't know the context. And I didn't know what. Apparently, you can turn the vocals off in the menu. I didn't know that. That's kind of neat. But yeah,
don't do that.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, they're great songs. They're kind of inane and banal, but like it's fun pops. It's a natural evolution of the Sonic music to that date, and it kind of just like channels the spirit of Sonic Boom from Sonic CD, and blows it up to the next level. If they hadn't gone all out on this, like there would have been less incentive for Crush 40 to go ham for the Sonic Adventure games and beyond. Like,
right.
Yeah, we would not have gotten Escape from the City, which the world would be an even darker place. Like,
I'm gonna play these jams for Mrs. Graphic later.
Do it. It's what I think. The one from the stage you hate, the Retro Relics or whatever, like that one. And what's the other? The city one isn't that romantic. The Relic Ruins and there's one other one that's like just all about just hanging out with you. When you're gone, it fucking sucks.
Sonic
That's
R.
not the word.
It might get you laid. Yeah. It might get you laid, Sonic R.
Play at your wedding.
Sega was really good at these choices. I mean, I get why some people don't like it, but if you're
it's goofy as hell.
Yeah, it's so goofy. But if you think about Sega and their history in the arcade, like they did this, especially in this era, like the late 90s, they love putting these poppy sort of tunes in their games. And I don't know. I totally dig it. I'm a mark for it.
Yeah, like Knights. Yeah.
Knights, Daytona. You know, just think of that song, Daytona. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Let's go away.
But it works. You know, if you're a fan of Sega, you know what you're getting with these games. And for me, I remember playing this game over and over again on my keyboard back in the late 90s and just being enamored with this soundtrack. Oh, hey there, listener. I didn't see it come in. Well, since you're here, let me personally thank you for listening to this program. If you'd like to show your support a little bit further, check out the Hot Blooded Challenger Club. That's hotbloodedchallenger.club. You can become a member for as little as $1 a month. And with that $1, you get early access to premium episodes of this very podcast. What's a premium episode? Additional content that's cut just for club members. You could be listening to that instead of this advertisement right now. And hey, don't have the buck, but want to support the show? Leave us a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice. Honestly, it goes so far to help our algorithm, so one day you could hear me advertising for comfortable underoos or a really good mattress or yet another subscription box. But regardless, thank you so much for listening. Now, let's get back to the show. Yes, he does.
Garfield Kart is fine. I will brook no hatred of Garfield Kart. I don't get it. I know one guy disliked it. There was like one video making fun of it, and then it turned into a meme. The guy wasn't even that popular. The game is fine. It's not good, but it's not bad. The worst part was the fact that it came out on mobile first, so it had like weird unlock things that were vaguely predatory. But they kind of half-assed that. They didn't even care that much about your money.
Look, we just discovered that kart racers and shitty racers are Nico Bunt's kink, and that's fine.
I was going to say that.
It's in my bloodstream. It's like lead. It's giving me brain damage, and I can't get it out.
But we have to get back to the show, so we are back. And if you didn't hear the discussion, for just $1 a month, you could enjoy the extra content that's happening in this very program. Go to hotbloodedchallenger.club. It's a Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you get more podcasts. They're ad-free, and there's more content inside of them. You'll really enjoy it. I know I do. Gentlemen, let's wrap up on our feelings with Sonic R.
Okay, so my likes, I really, really like the graphics. I think they're just as good as Knights on the Saturn. And of course, the soundtrack. We all love the soundtrack. Mm-hmm. And I got a soft spot for that proto 3D Sonic asset. So I thought he looked really great. But other than that, I have to say this game made me legit angry. It has all my favorite ingredients in there, you know?
Yeah,
and the control is just shit in the cereal. It could be a great Sonic game, and it's just terrible. And the debut of him on the system was just such a missed opportunity. It makes me so mad. It maybe should have just been a scavenger hunt or something. It's just race if you feel like it, or do this other thing and maybe get in second place. It doesn't matter. You're just going to fall off anything ever anyway. It just really made me mad.
Yeah.
Again, we've been over the soundtrack. It's amazing. I love Cyber Knuckles. I'm so they've not done anything with the other robot versions since then. Maybe in the comics, probably.
Oh, definitely. And
Ken
it's all about
Penders
their
probably
feet.
Made one. Yeah, he probably made Cyber Echidna feet to jerk off to or something. But I would love to see them come back, even if it's just like cameos or like they're probably statues of one of the Shenmues or something. But like, yeah, I'd like to see them come back, and like just other than that, like it was okay. I will agree the controls are a goddamn disaster, and I wouldn't actively seek this one out. But if you pick up the Gems collection, it's only like what $30 or $40 on eBay. Mm-hmm. I didn't see any on Amazon, but fuck Jeff Bezos anyway. Yeah, like
this podcast sponsored by Amazon, Amazon.com. Yeah, what disappoints me with the game is there are good ideas. There's a lot of good ideas here, but then Sega just Sega'd it up where it was probably rushed to market.
Oh, absolutely.
It was not polished enough, and it didn't have enough time in the oven to, create something that would really push the console that it was on. And at the point, 1997, I mean, I don't know, maybe they were at that point kind of giving up on the console. I don't know, but Yeah, the controls are bad, the track design is bad, and the modes are misguided. They're not bad. It's fun to race. It's fun to do scavenger hunts. It's fun to tag. It just needs to work. And unfortunately, it does not come together in this game. Nico Bun, where would you rank Sonic R on our chili dog ranking?
I honestly, I liked it, but again, I might be desensitized because I play a lot of dog shit.
Yeah.
But I'll give it a solid 6.5 chili dogs. The thing about that half chili dog is it's bitten off. It's clearly not been cut. So somebody chomped on that. The guy who gave you the dog doesn't know, and now you're suspicious of everybody. Everybody.
That half chili dog is as unpolished as this game.
I give it 3 out of 10 chili dogs, but from a hot dog truck on the side of an entrance ramp to the expressway.
Yeah, I would give it a 3 or 4 out of 10. It's a failing grade for me because it's not, for me, not fun to play. And I don't know why I wanted to go back to this game so badly. I should have left it there in my memory because it played a lot better there than it did revisiting it. Again, for under $5 or under $10, I think it's worth a visit as an unlockable in a collection. It's the oddity of it. It kind of bums me out. It like I was very nostalgic when we started up this series to go back to this game, and I'm left deflated.
Yeah, can I say something too? This show is making me rethink my love of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Admittingly, I'm purposely doing the games that most people either dislike or haven't played. We're going to get to, in fact, you know what? Next episode, we're going to play a good game. We're not going to say what that game is right now on air, but we're going to play a fun game. We're not going to do another Spinball or another Sonic R. Or
good and fun are not necessarily mutually inclusive.
This is true. This is true. Hey, Triple Trouble wasn't that bad. I mean,
that was a fine game. That was okay.
That was okay.
The other nice thing about it, if you get it on the Sonic Gems collection, if it hurts that bad, Sonic Drift 2 is right there to hit your racing fix, or Tails Adventure, that's there too. Vector Man, you have options to wash the taste out of your mouth.
Vector Man, my favorite Sonic game.
Yes.
Don't spend $60 on the Saturn disc.
No. Please tell me you didn't do that for the show, Pete. You didn't spend $60.
No, he said he already had it.
Oh, you did?
I had it before we started this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. So it's not our fault that you spent $60 on the disc.
You might have spent $60 on it relatively new, but this is $60 loose now, I believe.
My copy is loose, but I bought it before we started doing the show.
All right, so I don't feel so bad. Hey, Pete,
we're playing it for the show.
Pete, where can people scope out your video game collection online?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Peter_graphic. I post everything in my collection, which is taking quite some time. And I also write articles occasionally on GameTrog.com. I just wrote an article about Poltergeist for Halloween.
Oh, great. That's fantastic. Yeah. And Nico Bun, I mentioned the Twitch. Hit us with them links.
Well, yeah, I'm on several times a week at twitch.tv/Negamon. If nothing else, come by Wednesday nights. That's when the racing games happen, hence the obsession. And also alcohol happens to make them go down a little bit easier sometimes. We can play some good stuff lately. Like Pacer just released in full. It's by the original Wipeout team. It's fucking amazing. Cool. Oh, and I finally got into Forza Horizon 3 way after the fact, and I need to turn off the soundtrack next time because that gets you muted because it's licensed music and I didn't know.
What's the Twitch handle?
Oh yeah, twitch.tv/Negabun. If you want to watch the archives, youtube.com/Negabun. I usually cut it down by game, so it's smaller bites because the stream runs like 3 or 4 hours usually minimum. And I play other stuff too, like horror games some nights or just whatever I feel like. Hyrule Warriors is coming up soon, so to date this episode. Twitter.com/NEK0BUN is where you want to go. I always post there when I go live and when stuff I actually liked playing gets posted on YouTube. So that's the hub.
Cool. Well, that just about does it for us. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our hosts for joining me on this episode, as well as the members of the Hot Blooded Challenger Club, without whom This podcast is not possible. If you would like to become a member of the Hot Blooded Challenger Club, visit, that's right, hotbloodedchallenger.club, and nominate them Sonic games. You can do that two ways. The first way, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast or Stitcher, and in that review, and it has to be a 5-star review. Don't waste my time with that 4-star shit. Put your nomination in that review, and we will play and review that game. Or if you want to fast track it, if you want to go to the top of our list, become a member of the Hot Blooded Challenger Club for as little as $1 a month. Now, until next time, another day is like a new beginning, and so today I know that it's a new start. I know the bad times are disappearing, because now I know that we'll never be apart. Seriously, Sonic R can get you laid. Good night, everybody.